What's going on? Welcome back to another episode on the Landscaping Podcast powered by Landscaping Unlimited. I am your host, Zachary Small, and I am going solo today as Shay is out in the field. We are talking about satisfied and still hungry, the lie that you can't be both. This is inspired by a few conversations I've had with individuals recently, but also over the course of my life. We're going to talk about how the American dream has become this weird measuring stick, and no matter what you do, even if you get the thing that you say you want, it's not good enough. So we're going to jump into all that. It's going to be a great discussion. This one's going to be a quicker one because I just want to get right to the point here. And it's that you need to stop comparing yourself. They say that comparison is the thief of joy. And I heard that on a TikTok the other day. And dude, it put a lump in my throat because I was like, oh my God, like there are so many people who have such great things, but they're not happy with it. And it's like, you can be satisfied. You can be happy with your life, but still hungry for more. Like, you don't have to sit there always telling yourself that what you have is not good enough. What you've done is not good enough. Who you are is not good enough. And yet someday, then you'll be good enough. And that someday is always in the future. And I'm guilty of this. I have a hard time with this, to be honest. Like a total confession here, kind of going off script for a second. I hadn't planned on talking about me at all. But this is something that I have struggled with. I do struggle with, but I also have found quite a bit of peace and growth with. And so, like, while I'm better at it, it's not something I've mastered. There are a lot of times where I'm like, if I could do just a little bit more, if I could edit these photos a little bit better, if I could make a little bit more money on the photography side, or if I could find a little bit more free time in my day to day, like then I'll be good. If I get this, that, or the other, then I'll be fine. Improve the physique, get my pattern of just my daily routine locked in, whatever, to run a little bit faster, lift a little bit more. I'm never satisfied. And it's like, sometimes it's not positive. Sometimes that self-talk is a little bit negative, and it's like it turns into like, not I'm not satisfied, but like I'm not good enough. And that's something that I hate because it's rare, it's infrequent, but every now and then it's like, damn, I'm not good enough. I got to be a little bit better. I have to do better at this. I've got to get a little bit more. I want a newer this. I want a better that. I want to give my wife and kids more, and they deserve it. And whatever it is that's going through my head. And it's like, I'm like way down the road on this and improving and understanding and like being content with it. And there are many who are like still back at the starting point. And so like, this is a long journey of getting it out of your mind. And I think it's because of the culture that we're in. It's like a brainwashed system that has us all thinking this, that if we're not producing, if we're not productive, then we're not good. And I don't know if that's like a millennial. I was born in 87. I don't know what that makes me. I've heard elder millennial. I've heard Gen, whatever. Like, I don't even care what it is. That's when I was born. So here's the angle I'm coming from. People born in like 1987. I grew up in the 90s. And so I don't know if it's a product of how I was raised. I don't know if it was a product of like the economic class I was in. So I grew up like middle class. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm kind of like trying to put it together. I was trying to put it together before I hit record, but I decided just to roll with it. So it was more raw and less scripted. I don't like to script these. I just like to talk. And so I don't have the answer, but something does it. Like, there's some part of me that's just like, you have to be different. Like, you have to push and do more. And it served me very well in certain parts of my life. But like, there are some times where I see people who can just chill. They can just go to their job. They work their 9 to 5. They go home. They see their spouse and they play video games. And they're so happy. And it's not from a position of like they're not connected with their kids. Like, they're happy and they're with their kids. And they're just happy to go to watch a baseball game and go home and do their thing and play a game or read a book or do woodworking, whatever it is. And that's their life. And I'm like, man, like I'm not envious of that because I love my life. But sometimes I'm like, I wish my brain worked like that. Like, I wish it could just like chill like that. And there are times where it doesn't. It's like, man, I've got to go out and earn something. I've got to go out and build something. I've got to go create. And it has served me well. It's served me well financially. It has served me well with my relationships. It's created the great network that I have of friends and just acquaintances who I can call if I'm starting a business or I need, a random thing or a random expert in a random area. I have that. I've got a really nice diversified Rolodex of folks I can call because of how hard I've worked and they have found value in what I've created. But at the same time, it's like, man, imagine just being able to go home from work and just not think you had to work. Like, that's such a foreign concept to me. Yesterday, I worked my tail off. Sweaty, it's hot. Anybody here in North Carolina, you guys know how it was with the humidity before the rain, not after. It cooled out after. I'm talking before. So before the rain, we worked. And then I went home. And then I went and I took photos, or a video rather, of my son playing baseball We didn't get home until 1. We didn't go to bed till around 2:30. Back up here at 6:30 when I leave the house. Back at work today, and we're doing our thing again. And it's like that's totally normal, totally fine. I'm totally cool with it. But it's like, imagine if I had gone home yesterday and just relaxed and not thought I had to do photography, not thought I had to do editing, not thought I had to write or call or build or create, but just sat down and just chilled. And then I think about all the other individuals I've spoken to about this. They do the same thing. The conversations go to the same place. So that's where I'm at. But now look at all these other people. They'll say, I have a truck, but it's not good enough truck. And I have a house, but it's not a good enough house. And I've got a wife, but like, things aren't as good as they could be. And I've got kids, but I wish I saw them more. The relationship isn't as good as it could be. And I look back on that and I can so easily tell other people, hey, slow down, dude. Like, you have a vehicle, you have a house, you have running water, you have money in your bank account, regardless of how many commas there are, how many digits there are. You have these things. Like, you're doing well, you're winning. So what's the problem? And it's because they've been told, well, what they have isn't good enough. And again, back to apparently I spent a lot of time on TikTok because recently that's been a lot of my references. But I was listening to a dude and he was talking about how he bought a Ferrari and his whole life he wanted a Ferrari. And as soon as he bought the Ferrari, he said he spent a little over $300,000 on it. He was driving down the road and he saw $1 million Ferrari. And he said, oh, like, I don't have the best Ferrari. I've got the fourth best Ferrari. That's the best Ferrari. And he realized in that moment, he got the thing he wanted, which was a Ferrari. That was his dream car. And as soon as he got it, he wasn't satisfied because it wasn't good enough. And that captures the entire essence of this discussion. It's like, no matter what we have or no matter what we achieve or what we do, like, it's not quite good enough because somehow we've convinced ourselves that you can't be satisfied. You can't be happy with what you have. It's got to be a little bit better. It's got to be a little bit shinier, a little bit more connected, a little bit higher digits in that account, like whatever it is. And usually it goes around health, wealth, relationships. And so if you notice, like, I keep coming back to money because money, like, nobody has enough money, or their physique. They don't look good enough. They're not just happy with that. Or the other status items. Their house isn't big enough. Their lawn isn't green enough. And then there's the relationships where it's like you don't spend enough time together. You don't give them enough things. And as a man, and a lot of men out there, we're primarily the providers. And so it's like, well, we're not giving our family the lives they deserve. Other people are going to Disney 3 times a year, and we've never been to Disney. They go on all these vacations, and we don't. They have all these things, and we don't. New phones, new iPads, and your kid has, 2 model ago iPad or whatever the hell it is. And it's like, if you could slow down and you could look at your life, you would realize that America is an incredible country to where we are rich, and yet we think we don't have enough. There are people without homes. There are people who don't have cars. There are people struggling with running water. Like, we have all the essentials a human being could need, and we're just not happy enough because consumer marketing with surgical precision has convinced us we aren't good enough. And that's what it boils down to. And when it boils down to that, and you sit there and look at it, it kind of sucks to see because you've got to tell yourself, I'm not good enough. That's what you're saying when you're saying you're not satisfied. And that's got to stop. That's got to end. Like, after this podcast, take some time to actually reflect on this because I'm dead serious right now. This is something that I've spent a lot of time working on myself with. I used to have a lot of negative self-talk. I'm not smart. Like, I'm dumb. I'm a bad person. Like, I can't get it right. I'm just always in the way. I'm a fuck up. And it's like, you can't have these thoughts and then go and tell yourself that I'm going to be great. I'm going to do awesome things. And like, there was that weird juxtaposition in my mind for a long time where, like, I knew I was a good person, but I felt like I was a bad person. And I knew I was a smart individual, but I felt like I was stupid. And it wasn't until I realized, like, I was judging my self-worth on the expectations, the validation, the acceptance of others, and not myself and what it is I wanted from life. And here's what I've realized. The people that I wanted approval from, they have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea. They're not happy in their life. And so it's like, why am I trying to be accepted by people who don't know what they've got going on in their own lives? Why do I think that I need them to like me for me to be good enough? And so that was a huge step for me. That was a huge step in the right direction. And it's something that I try to tell all my guys at work. It's something I try to instill in anybody that will listen to me. I was a writer for a long time. I ran a blog, and it's like constantly the theme there was like, lock in and go and get what you want from life and stop trying to be the person you think others will like. Like, live authentically. Find that fire in your soul and go be who you are. And if you can do that, then you'll find that happiness because you're living your life on your terms. And I explained to my wife, I explained to my kids, like, I'm a weird dude. I'm a very unique individual, and that's cool. Like, I'm happy with that. That's me. And once I accepted that, like, that's when I started to meet other weird people, and I really liked them, and they were cool. And you know what I noticed about them? By being weird, they were enjoying their life too. And so looking at that, like, you'll find happy people and you will be happy yourself the moment you stop using this quote unquote American dream measuring stick and realize, like, this is your stick. What do you want? And what you have, while it may not be exactly where you're trying to get to, is damn good. You are doing well. You are doing okay. You are good enough. And you will find your way to where it is you want to go if you give yourself that permission. But understand this. If you're going to go and build it and you know that you're going to put the effort in to go and build that dream that you've set for yourself, well, then why are you going to struggle along the way to get to that point? Like, you can be happy and a good smiling person and actually enjoying your life and building at the same time. That's a lot better of an option than being miserable the whole time while you build. Like, you're going the same way either way. Why not enjoy the ride? If you got to sit in a car for an hour and you got to drive to some destination, you're going to get to that destination no matter what. Do you want to be the person in the car with the radio off who's miserable and sitting there just telling yourself you're shitty? Or do you want to be the person in the car with the radio up, the windows down, and you're having a great time along the way? Neither of those people are where they're trying to get to. They're both on the way, but one of them is having a much better time. And what I want to help you do is while you're running your business or while you're out there working in the field, doing whatever it is you do, maybe you're blue collar, white collar, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is you're doing, if you're listening to the Landscaping Podcast, I'm assuming you have some sort of connection to either the green industry or business at large. While you're looking to go out and do what it is that you want to do in life, give yourself permission to enjoy the ride. Give yourself permission to have a good time in this and tell yourself, you know what? I might not have the newest boat, but man, I got myself a boat. I've got myself a house. Even if you have an apartment, you have something. You live somewhere. Good on you. There are a lot of people who can't figure that part out. And so it's not that these things aren't good enough. Bro, save up for what you want. If you want a new truck, save up for that truck. But understand that new truck's not going to make you feel better about yourself. That's not going to make your life better. It'll be a nice toy that you have. But just like the Ferrari guy, he got the exact thing he always thought he wanted. And once he got it, he realized it didn't bring the satisfaction because there was another thing to go get. That's marketing, man. That is consumerism at its finest. And I've decided to leave that rat race. I love what it is I do. It trips people out when I'm like, yo, I love landscaping. I love photography. I love what it is I do. I have this never satisfied mindset. And like I said, sometimes it does go to like the negative side of that. Sometimes I'm like, I do want more and I've got to go build and do more. It's like not good enough. But I try to snap myself out of it as best I can because that hungry voice, it's like fire. I've got to tame it and like I've got to like channel it. That way it doesn't like burn the whole house down. You know, you can have fire and it can cook food. It can keep you warm and keep you alive. Or you could let yourself on fire. And like, that's not going to be the greatest decision. So what I want you to do from this episode on is to start giving yourself permission to say that you're good enough and that you're making progress and you're going to get where you're looking to go, but you've got to give yourself permission to feel that happiness. You've got to give yourself permission to be satisfied on that journey while you're still hungry. I'm rooting for you. Like, I've got your back and I want you to win so bad, but you've got to give yourself permission to live life on your terms. And if you can do that, you're going to enjoy the ride to get where it is you want to go. And you're going to live out that future that you can see for yourself. And your future self is going to look back on the past self and say, thanks, man. I appreciate you for having your back and giving yourself permission to be who you really are and not who you thought you were supposed to be. You live your life on your terms. Give yourself permission to be happy. And the things that you have, stop taking them for granted. Because if you take them away, I do this thought experiment. It's called negative visualizations. Take them away in your mind. In your brain, the car that you have, break it down. Now you don't have a car. The house that you have, burn it down. Now you don't have a house. Aren't you going to wish that you had it? That thing that you took for granted, you didn't like, that wasn't good enough, you're going to want that thing more than anything else. It's like the whole thing, like you can have a million things when you're healthy and not be satisfied. But if you have a million things and you're not healthy, you only want one thing. That's your health. And so it's like you don't like your house until you don't have that house. You don't like the truck until you don't have that truck. So the relationship with your wife, your kids, enjoy what it is that you have. Enjoy the presence you have with them. It is good enough. You are good enough, but you've got to start looking at it a little bit differently. And if you do that mind trick, I said, the negative visualization, and really give yourself permission to like lose the people, lose the things, take it all away, and then bring it back, you're going to look at them with a whole different set of eyes. You're going to sit in your truck and be like, you know what? This thing is reliable. You're going to see your wife and her eyes are going to shine a little bit brighter. You're going to hear your kids' voices and be like, man, I'm so glad I get to hear them in my house, echoing off the walls. All the things that you have, you're going to appreciate so much more if you stop taking them for granted and stop telling yourself that you're supposed to have more or you're not doing good enough and that's why you don't have anything else. So enjoy that. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoy your weekend. I hope you take time to appreciate what it is that you have in life and who it is that you are. I'm rooting for you. I hope you are after this. You guys stay well. This has been another episode of the Landscaping Podcast.